San Jose greater than the Sharks plan to be active in the NHL's free agency frenzy this summer. That doesn't mean they're going to land the marquee superstar that fans envision as Joe Thornton's eventual replacement on the team's top line. Doug Wilson confirmed in a meeting with reporters Monday that the Sharks will add to their roster at some point with roughly $10 million to $15 million available in cap space this offseason. He also left the door open to the possibility that he could make that addition with an in-season trade. If the started tomorrow, I like our team a lot, I really do. But we're in a position to add, Wilson said. Will we add? Yes, we will. Here are a few thoughts that provide a blueprint of what's on the table in Sharks territory this offseason. The Sharks aren't banking on signing John Tavares greater than the stars are lining up so perfectly, it seems too good to be true. After swapping out Patrick Marleau for Evander Kane last year, the Sharks are now in the market to acquire a long-term replacement for Thornton at top-line center. It just so happens that Tavares is flirting with the possibility of becoming the biggest unrestricted free agent to hit the open market in the NHL's salary cap era. If the NHL was a dating app, the Sharks and Tavares would be an instant match. Unfortunately, player acquisition in the modern NHL is a little more complicated than swiping through profiles. After a winter in which nearly every sign suggested that Tavares would dip his toes into the free agency waters, the wind is starting to push him back in the Islanders' direction. The team fired general manager Garth Snow and head coach Doug Weight, bringing in Lou Lamoriello to lead negotiations with Tavares and give him confidence that the franchise actually has a vision for the future. According to multiple reports, Tavares' agent, Pat Brisson, is engaged in daily discussion with Lamoriello, trying to hammer out a deal that will keep him in blue throughout his prime years. TSN insider Pierre LeBrun even reported last week that multiple NHL executives have told him that they expect Tavares to re-sign with the Islanders. That said, TSN's Darren Dreger tweeted Monday that Tavares is expected to meet with 3 to 5 teams next week if he doesn't reach an agreement with the Islanders before the NHL's speaking period opens Sunday. If this is how things play out, it's safe to assume that the Sharks would be among the teams with a seat at the table. Still, landing Tavares is a long shot that will require some movement from celestial bodies. If one thing is certain here, it's that Wilson is devising alternate plans. Expect to see number 19 in teal again next year greater than before we dive into Plan B and Plan C. Let's knock another big item off the list of frequently asked questions. What's going to happen with Joe Thornton? Advertisement again. Every sign suggests he will stay in San Jose for another year. The real question is whether he'll remain on the top line or slide into a reduced role at age 39 with 2 surgically repaired knees. Thornton has expressed his desire to remain with the Sharks, and Wilson suggested Monday that the future Hall of Famer might be willing to take a hometown deal to help the team add to the roster. Last summer, Thornton offered to take a pay cut in an attempt to keep Marleau on board. We know what we're trying to accomplish, Wilson said. He's always left flexibility to do what's right for the team. That's how special he is. What he was open to do last year, he'd be open to doing that again. Translation: don't throw your number 19 jerseys in a box just yet. If Tavares is out, it makes more sense to add a right wing than a centerman greater than the Sharks meeting with Ilya Kovalchuk last week offered a glimpse into what Wilson might do in the likely event that the team misses out on Tavares. Instead of going after a top-line center, the Sharks can beef up at right wing and still ice a potent forward group. Beyond Tavares, the free agent pool at center is quite weak, with Paul Stastny serving as the next best option on the list. The Sharks aren't going to dish out $24 million over 4 years for a 32-year-old center when they have a roster loaded with guys, such as Joe Pavelski and Thomas Hertl, who can slide into the middle and plug a hole. But the team could definitely use some depth at right wing. When Joonas Donskoi battled through injuries late in the year last, DeBoer was forced to slide Chris Tierney up to the right side of his top line at times, creating a ripple effect that opened up a hole at third-line center. Adding a top-line talent, such as Kovalchuk, at right wing would slot the rest of the lineup into place and create matchup problems around the league. Picture this top 9 forward group: 1. Evander Kane, Pavelski, Kovalchuk; 2. Hertl, Logan Couture, Donskoi; 3. Timo Meier, Thornton, Tierney. Nasty. Despite head coach Pete DeBoer's familiarity with Kovalchuk, a 5-time 40-goal scorer, signing the 35-year-old winger might not be the smartest move. Despite his 5-year absence from the NHL, Kovalchuk will still fetch north of $6 million per year as competition for his services is sure to be steep. The Sharks should steer clear of any deal that goes beyond 2 years unless the price tag drops significantly. With that in mind, the best avenue for acquiring a right winger could be through the trade market. That might require some patience as the search could stretch into last year. Wilson Eddup Kane plugged the Marlow hole by biding his time and exploiting an inefficiency in the trade market. If Tavares and Kovalchuk come off the board this summer, his creativity will be put to test again this year.